Please allow me to show you how much I love you. It wouldn't hurt, I wouldn't be deep.
I'm feeling shy.
Just want to feel your wetness.
Madam, your daughter is 1 month pregnant.
No, no, no! Pregnant, oh baby. I'm so sorry, Mom. Shh, it's okay. We'll figure this out.
Corper Peter looked Diana in the eyes and whispered, I won't go all the way. Just the tip. I only want to feel your wetness. I promise it wouldn't hurt. I won't go deep. Those were the exact words he told her that night. But before Diana could realize what was happening, Peter had already gone deeper than he promised. And what happened next changed everything. If you want to discover the shocking secret that unfolded that night, stay with me till the end. Let's dive into the story. In Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria, where ambition and struggle walk hand in hand, there lived a young girl named Diana. Diana was 17 years old. Diana attended May Heaven Secondary School in Abuja. She was widely admired in her school, not just for her beauty, but for the quiet strength that followed her everywhere she went. She had a slim, curved figure, tough frame, smooth, chocolate brown skin, and a presence that made people notice her even when she tried to stay invisible. But beyond appearance, Diana was intelligent, calm, and deeply careful about the people she let into her life. She did not trust easily because life had already taught her that not everyone who smiles at you means well. Her father, Mr. Austin Okonkwo, was a disciplined and a principled man, a retired civil servant. He was known for his strict moral values and strong voice in the household. He believed in hard work, discipline, and dignity. To him, Diana was his pride, his only daughter, the one he hoped would rise above every limitation life tried to place on her. Her mother, Mrs. Agnes Okonkwo, was a dedicated secondary school teacher. She taught English language at a government school in Abuja. Agnes was patient, nurturing, but firm when necessary. She understood young people deeply, but nothing prepared her for what life would later throw at her own daughter. She loved Diana fiercely, and every decision she made was rooted in protecting her. One Monday morning, the school principal made an announcement during assembly. A new corps member has been posted to our school. He will be assisting in teaching and completing his primary assignment here. The students erupted in excitement. It was always refreshing to see new faces, especially young coppers who brought energy into the school environment. A few hours later, the new corps member walked into Diana's classroom. "Good morning, class," he said confidently. "My name is Peter. I am your new teacher for civic education and guidance." He was tall, well-spoken, and carried a calm charm that made students instantly comfortable. But the moment his eyes landed on Diana, something shifted. He paused slightly too long. His gaze lingered in a way that did not go unnoticed by the students. Diana felt it too, but she looked away immediately, unsettled by the intensity of his stare. From that day, Peter became unusually attentive in her class. He called her, praised her answers more than others, and found meaningless excuses to be close to her. Diana noticed, but she chose caution over curiosity. After school one afternoon, Peter approached Diana outside the classroom. "Diana, right?" he said gently. She nodded. "I have noticed you. You are different from the others." Diana gave a polite smile. "Thank you, sir." But Peter quickly corrected her. "Call me Peter. I am not much older than you." That small sentence changed the tone of everything that followed. Over the next few weeks, Peter gradually built emotional closeness with her. He spoke about loneliness, his supposed struggles as a core member, and how he felt understood only when she was around. Diana, who had always been careful, began to lower her guard, not because she was careless, but because Peter appeared patient, respectful, and consistent. He told her she was special, that she made him feel alive, that after his service here, he would settle down and take her seriously. He
Please
spoke
allow me
about
to show you
marriage,
how much I love you.
planting dreams in her mind, while carefully hiding the truth of his life. What Diana did not know was that Peter was already a married man, someone who had left that part of his life hidden, far from Abuja, while he played a different identity in the city. To him, Diana was not love. She was escape, a temporary pleasure disguised as affection. To Diana, he was becoming everything she had never experienced before: attention, care, and emotional warmth. One evening, Peter invited Diana to speak with him after school, under the excuse of helping her academically. It was quiet, and the school compound was nearly empty. What started as conversation slowly crossed boundaries Diana had never intended to cross. Peter's words became more persuasive, more emotionally intense, mixing affection with pressure. Diana hesitated, uncertain, emotionally overwhelmed by trust and fear of losing someone she had grown attached to. That moment changed everything,
Please allow
not
me to
because
show
of
you how
love,
much I love you.
but because of manipulation
It wouldn't hurt. I just want
disguised
to feel
as
your
care.
wetness.
Yes.
After that day, Peter's behavior shifted. He became less consistent, sometimes distant, sometimes overly affectionate, again keeping Diana emotionally unsuitable without her realizing it. Weeks later, Diana began to feel unwell. At first, it was fatigue, then nauseous, then weakness that refused to go away. Her mother, Agnes, noticed immediately. "Diana, you are not yourself. We are going to the hospital." Diana tried to resist, but Agnes insisted. At the hospital, after several tests, the doctor requested to speak privately with Agnes. The words that followed shattered everything. "Your daughter is 1 month pregnant." Agnes froze. For a moment, she couldn't breathe. The room felt like it was spinning. Then tears came uncontrollably, painful and heavy with disbelief. "My daughter, pregnant," she whispered, broken. It was not just shock, it was disappointment, fear, shame, confusion. Everything collided at once. Agnes cried all the way home, holding on to Diana. even though her heart was breaking. When confronted, Diana broke down. She did not have all the answers, only fragments of trust, confusion, and regret. But one name kept coming up: Peter. Agnes, devastated but determined, she went to the school. She demanded answers. When Peter was called, his calm face immediately began to crack under pressure. At first, he denied everything. Then he shifted blame. Then silence. But silence was louder than confession. Eventually, the truth surfaced. Peter was married. A whole life he had hidden. A wife waiting elsewhere while he built a double existence in Abuja. The school authorities were informed. His call posting was immediately reported. His actions triggered consequences. But for Diana, none of them mattered anymore. The damage had already been done. Diana withdrew into silence. The girl who once smiled softly in the class now barely spoke. Her world had collapsed, not just because of pregnancy, but because of betrayal. She withdrew from school. Her dreams shattered. As her father, Austin, overcome by shame, decided they would leave Abuja. They returned to their village, where isolation wrapped around Diana like a heavy cloak. It was there, in the quiet of that village, that she met Mr. Paul, a man 65 years old who disguised himself as a humble farmer. Behind that worn-out facade was a man of immense wealth, someone who had grown weary of women, drawn only to his riches. He came from Lagos, not to flaunt his fortune, but to find a love untouched by gold. One fateful morning, as he returned from the market, he saw Diana and her father walking back to the village. Something inside him stirred, an instant, undeniable connection. His friend, unaware of his disguise, warned him of Diana's pregnancy, but Paul couldn't shake off the feeling. The next day, he visited Austin, his voice steady but filled with hope, and confessed his desire to marry Diana. At first, Diana resisted, terrified of another false promise, but days later, her fear gave way to a quiet trust, and she agreed. They married, and slowly, Diana began to see the goodness in Paul. He trusted her with a tenderness she had never known. Months later, Diana gave birth to a son, the happiest day of Paul's life. And as joy blossomed in their home, he knew he couldn't hide any longer. One evening, he sat down beside Diana and told her everything: the wealth, the life in Lagos, the disguise. Together, with trust reborn, they moved back to his grand mansion in Lagos. Diana returned to her studies determined. She completed her nursing degree, and soon after, she began working at St. Mary's Hospital. They built a new life, one rooted in love that was tested but never broken. And they lived not without scars, but with love that carried them ever after. Life lessons. Time passed, slowly but painfully. Diana gave birth months later, a child born into a story of broken trust. The journey was not easy, but she lived through it. And in that process, she learned something painful but powerful. Not every smile is love. Not every promise is truth. And not every person who enters your life deserves access to your heart. In the city like Abuja, where dreams rise and fall daily, Diana's story became one of those silent warnings shared among young girls. Protect your heart, question intentions, and never confuse attention with genuine love. Because sometimes the most dangerous people don't force their way in. They are invited in one emotional promise at a time. This is the end of my story. Remember, not every story ends when the video stops. See you in the next one. If you're still watching, bye. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more amazing stories.